Story time part 3. So a nurse spotted me walking one day, because that's what I did while I was there. I just walked the town, got out in the sun and tried to stay as warm as possible. And I skipped something from part 2, so I want to talk about that. Before I walked to Chillicothe, I stayed the night in a town in front of a grocery store. And this lovely couple gave me some shoes and a coat and a blanket, like a real thin hospital blanket. So I slept behind this little bush in front of the grocery store all night. It was the most coldest night I had ever experienced sleeping anywhere. And I knew if I stayed moving, I wouldn't freeze to death. So what I would do is every 15 minutes, I would roll over from one side to the other. And if I kept my head covered up under the blankets and just breathed my warm air, it would kind of warm me up a little bit. So that did kind of happen too. But to get back to the nurse story, she spotted me walking and she notified the police. The police on March 9th came by and talked to me. I was still a little nervous. I was kind of panicking and freaking out, but I told them my name, and yes, I was the missing person. They took me to the police department, put me in inpatient treatment for about 5 days, and my boyfriend came and picked me up. Anyway, the things that I'm starting to remember is I was driving, and this is like looking at myself in an out-of-body experience, okay? But I could hear the thoughts that were going through my head. And it was like worldly things were not necessary. So I had $3,700 cash on me, and I threw it out the window. Just right out the window. Somebody must have picked it up on the side of the road and was happiest day of their life, probably. But either which way, that's what happened. Another thing is when I got to this Piketon place in Ohio, I pulled into the convenience store and I asked God, I was like, so what am I supposed to do now? And he said, it's time to stop. And my car just stopped. And follow up for part 4.